Hi there everybody and welcome to my patch rundown for the first update for Going Medieval. I'm Icon and in this video I will do a rundown of all the big features the new update has in store for us. Of course, down there in the description box you will find a link to the complete patch notes because it is nigh impossible for me to cover up all the different things. It's a real big update. But let's get just right started. Now, the first big thing that has been added into the game now are storage furnitures. These are unlocked behind the furniture tech and the furniture tier 2 tech. Sadly not available in this save file. So what this brings are furniture items which will store our stuff. So there's bookshelves for those pesky book piles in your libraries. So now we can actually build proper bookshelves or hanging bookshelves, whatever you prefer. Weapon racks for storing our weaponry. Sadly, only for shields and weapons so far. I'm still looking for the armor rack, but haven't found any yet. Then there's the shelf. The shelf is a storage item mainly meant to keep things off the ground, so it's ideal for food of any kind. But my food is hidden somewhere else, and that's down here. Let's go down here. Here's my food storage. So another thing has been reworked, and I want to talk about that while we're looking here at the food stockpiles. There has been a pretty obscure mechanic in terms of temperature regulation, which was going like this. A piece of dirt cooled the room better than a piece of floor. This is no longer the case. You can safely floor everything, and the floored floor will cool the area just as good as the dirt. If you want to know the exact mechanics, it's all in the patch notes, but the gist of it is you don't need to put up these ventilation shafts like I did here anymore to keep the room cool. You can just floor everything and it will be okay, and a nice minus degree inside there. So on top of that, we have now a little bit of extra features on the stockpiles. The stockpiles have now priorities, and well, this is just something I've been mentioning so often while I was recording my series and playing this game that, yeah, it goes without saying. Now you can tell the game how important these stockpiles are when you want to navigate, when you want to manage logistics. Beautiful stuff, pretty default and standard stuff for most games. Now we can organize our inventories a lot better. Together with the storage furnitures, we're really at a good spot. Another thing that has happened is that we can now play on larger maps. The map you see here is now the default map, or no, the small map formerly known as default map. So there are two new larger sizes for maps available, which sounds pretty fun. So the next things that I want to talk about are about plants and such. So before that, well, it's hard to show right now because we're in the middle of winter and minus 40 degree. But before the newest patch, whenever the temperatures plummeted below 0, every plant on the map immediately died, which was quite nonsense. This is no longer the case. They now freeze slowly to death, so you can't pick those juicy last mushrooms of autumn and berries of autumn. Speaking about berries, the red currant has been nerfed, grows a day longer now. So that's pretty much all that I wanted to say about plants. The other thing that I wanted to point out, which I really found cool, was that our almanac has been updated. There's now a lot more, was it hyper connections in there, but as you see, there's still a lot to be done. But we have more of these links now in the almanac, and developers are filling these gaps bit by bit. Quite happy to see that. Okay, the next part where I'm going to be talking about, and its biggest difference there, is combat, especially trebuchets, but we're going to start out with combat in general. Now, the combat will be a lot harder from this update on, in my opinion at least, because in the former version, Whenever you were attacked, there were almost no archers whatsoever. This save file here has seen the first archers after like 80 days or something like that. That's no longer the case. Whenever the raid size is 4 or higher, 20% of the attackers will be archers. So bad news for people that were relying on these cheese strategies like I did here. Like, I mean, these items all belong to somebody one day. Well, it was really easy to cheese out melee people trying to storm your gates. This is harder now. But there's another thing which is a little bit of a, well, improvement and something I like, and we're going to talk about the trebuchets now. So trebuchets before the update were working like they had a fixed point where they kept shooting and then they kept shooting there all day long. This is no longer the case. The trebuchets have a randomized fire pattern now. They also fire slower, and most importantly, their bullets can now be catched by walls, which means we finally have a reason to hide behind large walls. Isn't that great? So basically you now have every reason to build yourself a big bad castle, because simply said, high walls now protect your inner castle from trebuchet shots. I love that. On top of that, the people on the trebuchets now are emptying their ammo before they join the fight. I haven't tried yet if you can cheese them into attack as before by just sending one dude out and everybody's attacking that one dude. This was the former strategy I used. Don't know if that's working. Feel free to add that into the comment section. But overall, I do appreciate that change because trebuchets were really, really feeling like crap in the past. And these changes at least sound pretty delightful. So overall, we have a lot of quality of life changes in there. And I don't want to talk about these in detail. I would say check these out in the patch notes if you are interested in that, because the changes I have summarized here were actually the biggest with this patch. One thing I wanted to mention here still, which I kind of like missed, was that the chest is a thing in the furniture tier 2. The chest offers you to store whatever in a safe environment. I'm pretty sure that they are not that efficient on a larger scale, but they give you nice means of role-playing. Last but not least, I want to mention also that the room detection has been improved. So this is mostly impacting multi-story buildings. So before the patch, the game was really, really getting confused easily by multi-storage buildings. And especially if you wanted to have a sleeping room in the basement and a workshop above there. This was not working too good. Supposedly it's working now better. Feel free to leave me feedback how good it works for you now. On top of that, there have been a couple of decorational items which have been put up. A stone fence, for example, and a candle holder. I don't find it right now. Maybe I haven't researched it yet. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Sadly, not the update I was waiting for. There's still a lot of things which feel rough on the edges of this game. But hey, it's the first update of many. And I gotta say, I'm very, very happy with the path and the pacing the developers are taking the game. The direction the developers are taking the game feels pretty solid to me. Alrighty, friends, so that's that from me. Feel free to add anything into the comment section which you feel like is very, very important and I happen to miss it out, or feel free to ask away. Whatever might be the case, leave a thumbs up if you liked that video to make it more visible to other people, and of course check out my channel. There's daily content popping up there. You might want to turn on those notifications to stay updated. Beyond that, the description box down there has not only the link for the patch notes, but also the link for my Twitch profile, where I do regular streams. You might want to hop in. I'd be really, really happy if you did. And also, you will find ways and means to support me via coffee or whatever you want to do for me. If you might do so, I'd be super happy. If not, let me thank you one more time for all your attention and spending time with this video. You're awesome. Stay like that, and see you soon. Bye-bye.